represented here today by 𝐊𝐇𝐔𝐌𝐀𝐋𝐎, who's our substantive undersecretary in the ministry, SACCO board members, distinguished SACCO leaders, SACCO members, and SACCO employees, members of the media, members of our security apparatus in Eswatini, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning. First of all, I really want to extend my heartfelt appreciation for being invited to today's event. It was difficult, I must admit, for me to create time to be here, but what I said to your commissioner was, of all the things I can miss, this is not one of them. So I am happy that I've actually carved out a few minutes to just be with you and speak to you, hopefully impart some of the vision that I have for this particular movement, and in particular to also show support to Mr. Russell Khumalo, who is now our new Commissioner of Cooperatives, and I think this is your first Congress, and I want to assure you that you have a very good person to lead the cooperative movement going forward. I'm also cognizant of the presence of DGRV, and I'm always happy when I see you guys, because your contribution and your stewardship of what we're trying to achieve here is second to none, and I always pray that we continue to nurture and grow this relationship until cooperatives and SACCOs in Eswatini are as good as they are in Eswatini. One day we will get there. The last time we had such a similar event was in 2022, the month of May, and the fact that we've gathered here today is evidence of the fact that the SACCO movement is progressing in spite of the recent challenges we've had, particularly with COVID-19. I realize that the affiliation has grown to 41 members, and there's a total membership of 37,000 people. And this is no small feat, and I'm really that continue to sustain. I was thrilled to see that the theme for the 6th SACCO Indaba says promoting a transformative approach of SACCO growth through digitization and compliance. I'm never sure to say. This is because of the fact that 29,000 of your members are actively enjoying these services on the platform, and we are currently seeing deposits that are in excess of 820. Yeah, he needed us to notice him again. We have not forgotten you, MC. So I can say what I like. Already there are more than 29,000 of your members that are already actively enjoying the e-services on the Mambo system, and we have seen deposits in excess of 832 million emalangeni. This is a big step towards a good digital experience for members. As a country, we are working on optimizing the opportunities that come with the digital space. So it is extremely important that SACCOs also find their footing in this space. According to Data Reportal 2023, a total of 1.28 million cellular mobile connections were active in Eswatini in early 2023, with this figure equivalent to 106.4% of the total population. This information is indicative of a fertile ground in adopting digital means to serve SACCO membership. Digitization is a good vehicle to reach out even to the youth in the country and other eMaswati in the diaspora, in both the present and the future. Moreover, as Eswatini, we have the advantage of the demographic dividend. The youth in the country is more than 70% of the entire population, and almost all of these young people have access to mobile phone or some form of digital gadget. The inclusion agenda also requires that we bring the youth and other vulnerable groups to the center of our development. I would therefore like to encourage SACCOs to budget for digitization. It may seem expensive at first, but it turns out to be affordable, considering the benefits short, medium, and long term. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm fully aware that digitization comes with associated risks. There is already a number of you that have suffered some loss due to some fraudulent practices. I would like to encourage us all here to be vigilant and agile. Let us all adopt migratory measures and fight against those that are blocking our socio-economic progress through fraudulent practices. I do want to underscore this point in particular. Please ensure that the levels of security in all the digital systems that you adopt are very, very strong. This is extremely important because it's a high risk area where people are able to intervene unbeknownst to you, and by the time you realize a lot has gone wrong. We can't allow the risk to dissuade us from embracing the technological advancement, but it is important. I was speaking to one of the leaders in my church, where we are more and more entering the digital space for collection of all sorts of offerings. I know one of my church leaders is here today. He's also a SACCO member. And I was saying, let us make sure all of these transactions that are happening on the speed points and online are audited weekly. Because by the time you realize that somebody at the bank is colluding with somebody at the office, you would have lost a few million in Malangen. And that happens regularly. So the vigilance that needs to accompany the adoption of digitization must be second to none. And please make sure that each of your SACCOs has very stringent routines and mechanisms to ensure that you are not caught napping, because this is the risk that we have to manage. Quite frankly, I am very excited that the Royal Eswatini Police are very much on the ball, tracking and locating people that are breaking the law and trying to take advantage of us and defraud us of our hard-earned monies. In the same vein, may I also encourage SACCO to come up with insurance products that are relevant to the digitization move of SACCOs. It is essential that SACCOs are covered against risk. I've been informed, reliably so, that on credit life insurance, a SACCO is covering 55,962 policies with a total asset base of 2.2 billion emalangeni. These are the numbers that I like talking about. I like big things by nature. This is commendable in that it ensures resilience and sustainability of the SACCO sector, which will make members of SACCOs to invest their assets with confidence. Another most exciting thing about this year's Indaba is the fact that you are talking about compliance. It's true. Again, compliance comes with additional expenses, and it also requires a different skill set in our human capital. However, it remains essential that SACCOs remain compliant. Compliance is good for SACCOs. In fact, SACCOs stand to benefit more than the regulator. I would again encourage SACCOs to adjust their plans accordingly to incorporate the demands of compliance that come with the territory. I've heard that the regulator has published the Consumer Credit Reporting Regulations, which I believe is a step in the right direction towards dealing with delinquency problems that are encountered by almost all SACCOs in the country. Actually, it is an industry-wide challenge which needs to be confronted. Let me warn SACCOs to be proactive with this and hope that equity elements are included in the regulations to enable SACCOs to easily comply accordingly. Compliance is difficult, compliance is expensive, compliance is boring, but you understand the value of compliance the day that you suffer loss. So please ensure that as you deliberate on how much you invest in compliance, in training, in all the governance principles that you set up around your SACCOs, you understand that the one thing that will ensure the sustenance and longevity of the SACCOs is how well you comply. And the regulator is there to make sure that they look out for your hard-earned investments. Improved customer experience coupled with digitization. The people that were writing this sometimes write digitalization, sometimes write digitization, so my tongue gets confused. Improved customer experience coupled with digitization and compliance shall push the whole SACCO movement to achieve their long-standing dream of establishing a cooperative bank. I am excited to be back as Minister of Commerce, Industry and Trade. When I prayed, this is what I was praying for. I'm not ashamed to say that because I love this job. But one of the things that will make me happy is at the end of my second term, we would have passed in Parliament the regulations to make you a cooperative bank. And I'm going to work hard on that. It is also the interest of His Majesty's government to support the establishment of this bank in the short to medium term. I would like to call upon all SACCO leaders to bring their heads together and craft a way forward regarding resuscitating the dream of a cooperative bank. We will soon be launching what we call the Citizens Economic Empowerment Council. This is an initiative that I'm driving with a lot of vigor and passion. One of the things I really want to see is a Maswati taking up proper space in the economy of Eswatini. And I think one of the hurdles that will drive real engagement in the business and economic space in Eswatini is ensuring that we have our own financial resources and aggregating the resources that you represent around the room will allow you to then be able to participate meaningfully in the opportunities that will surface as a result of the implementation of this bill. So please work with me and let's make this country a success. The ministry has also filled the position of the Commissioner of Cooperatives, and I've already spoken about that. One of the responsibilities that we all have is to make sure we support him so that he drives a number of these initiatives. May I take this opportunity to appreciate the support already given by different players in the sector, which include DGRV and ICDF. Their efforts are recognized by the government, and I believe that the relationship will grow stronger as the different programs unfold. May I also take this time to appreciate the organizers and supporters of this event. Indeed, the SACCO industry in the country is providing the resilient, or rather is proving to be resilient and agile. This is demonstrated by the unity that you all display in contributions that you make towards the success of SACCOs, and in particular this occasion. Having said that, allow me to challenge you and to challenge those SACCOs that are not affiliated to reconsider their stand, towards affiliation, because the SACCO movement is now taking the next level. They better not be left out. Ladies and gentlemen, with those few remarks, thank you very much for your attention. I want to once again pledge my unwavering support to you always, and I'm confident that SACCOs will continue to grow in strength and prosperity. God bless you.